All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
At Seven Gale Crescent, where our proud tower stands, there's beauty all around us, shaped by caring hands. Every flower blooming, every garden growing strong, tells a tale of neighbors and the place where we belong. Bill and his wife, Chris, give their time so faithfully. Linda brings her special touch for everyone to see. Sandy works beside them, helping gardens come alive. Through their loving dedication, Mill Run blooms with pride. Oh, Mill Run Tower, shining proudly in the sun, the jewel of our neighborhood, admired by everyone. From the street or from the sky, your beauty can be seen, with gardens full of color and lawns of vibrant green. To Bill, Chris, Linda, and Sandy, we proudly say thank you for the time and love you freely give each day. You make our home a treasure and fill our hearts with pride. The garden committee keeps Mill Run's beauty shining bright. They volunteer their labor through sunshine, wind, and rain, tending every flower bed and caring for the terrain. With patience and devotion, they help each garden grow, creating something special for all who come and go. The owners of our condos see the difference that they make, and neighbors in our community admire each path they rake. Even civic leaders can look proudly on the view, for Mill Run shows what neighbors with a common heart can do. It takes more than soil and sunshine to make a garden grow. It takes a heart that cares enough to plant each seed with hope. Their hands may shape the landscape, but their kindness shapes us too, building pride and friendship in everything they do. Oh, Mill Run Tower, standing proudly strong and tall, with gardens that bring happiness and beauty to us all. From the street or from the sky, our gratitude shines through for the volunteers whose loving hands make every season new. Here's to Bill and Chris, to Linda, and to Sandy too. The heart of our great garden team, devoted, kind, and true. Seven Gale Crescent proudly stands for everyone to see. The jewel of our neighborhood and home to you and me. So let the flowers blossom, let our gratitude be known. Because of four great neighbors, Mill Run truly feels like home.
And welcome to the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell, and for the next 2 hours, I'm your host and your guide, as together we're going to be crossing the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And we come to you Monday through Friday, like I said, from 10 p.m. until midnight, right here on the CanCom Broadcast Network and your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ AM, streaming us around the world on classic1220.ca. Tonight, Exo Nation, we enter the shadowy world of objects believed to carry something far more sinister than mere history. From haunted dolls and possessed relics to mysterious artifacts surrounded by tragedy, unexplained activity, and terrifying legends, certain objects seem to retain the energy and perhaps even the spirits of those who once possessed them. My guest tonight is Lori Marie McDonald, author of Cursed Oddities, the true stories of the world's most haunted, possessed, and supernatural objects. Through meticulous research and chilling accounts, Lori explores the disturbing histories behind some of the world's most infamous objects and examines the strange events that continue to surround them. Can ordinary objects become a vessel for supernatural energy? Can a curse follow an artifact from one owner to the next? And what happens when curiosity brings someone too close to something that they should have never touched? Well, tonight we separate documented history from dark legend, and perhaps discover that some possessions may, in fact, possess us. Please welcome Lori Marie McDonald. Lori, welcome back to the X Zone.
Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Lori. Always great talking to you. Lori, for our listeners who may be hearing you for the first time on the show, tell us a little bit about Lori.
Well, I am a paranormal investigator. I've been so for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And what led me to write this book was because I had investigated several cases, and the origin of the case and what caused the curse was a cursed oddity,
Mm-hmm.
which was one of the cases was a haunted bed case. Another case was an herbal curse. And another was a police report with an incident at a retirement home. And I thought, well, I've been collecting all this data. I might as well write a book about it.
How would you define a cursed object, and how is it different from an object that simply is haunted?
Well, a cursed object is something that is caused by like an invocation or a spell or a hex.
Mm-hmm.
And it's placed on an object with an intentional intent that triggers bad luck. Like in voodoo or...
Okay. And what else besides voodoo?
Well, it can be, a curse can be on anything.
Oh.
It can be on jewelry. It can be on coins. It can be on, just about anything someone wants to put a spell on and use it. It could be on a rope. It could be on... anything.
Sure, even furniture from a garage sale or a flea market, I bet.
Definitely. Antique shops.
Mm. Why do dolls, mirrors, jewelries, paintings, and antiques seem to feature so prominently in stories about cursed objects?
I think it's because the dolls look like humans,
Mm-hmm.
but there's something eerie about them. And there are people that love their possessions, and dolls are a popular possession. And dolls are also something that's really popular when you go to antique shops. They usually have a large collection. And if it's an antique doll, you don't know who owned the doll prior to it winding up in an antique shop or estate sale. And you don't know what kind of an environment that the object was in. It could have been in an environment where there's a residual haunting from the environment, or it could just be that it was used in a curse or a hex or a ritual. And so it winds up there and people buy it and bring it home, and then they have trouble.
I understand in your book you talk about a doll that's called Robert.
Yeah. Yes, Robert the Doll. Yes, that's the most famous haunted doll there is Robert the Doll and Annabelle. But
why is Robert so famous or so haunted or cursed?
Well, the history behind it is that there was a voodoo ritual on the doll that was given to a man, when he was a child, and he named it Robert. And every time that things started to happen in his room, the mother would walk in, and there he'd be, and the doll would be on the end of the bed, and the whole room torn apart. And he'd always say, Robert did it. And so he's an artist. He became an artist. And so it wound up in a museum. And the thing is that even the people in the museum have noticed, and there's reported incidents of you have to ask permission to take a photo, or the photo doesn't turn out. And people have seen, activity around Robert the doll. And a lot of bad things, a lot of bad luck have happened over the years to, Robert the doll. So it's just really famous. And I wanted to put that in there, and I drew it, and I painted it for the book.
Do you yourself own any of these cursed objects?
I have, yeah. There's a doll in there that is, it's a mourning doll, and there's a picture in the book on it, and she has this little necklace that's a mourning jewelry.
Right.
And I bought it at an antique shop, and I believe, there's really strange energy. And the thing about it is my son came over, and I go, look at the new doll I bought. And he's like, ooh, that's terrible. And so it exudes this really weird like vibe. And, but I've kept it, but I keep it in a cabinet. I don't display it.
Exonation, our guest this hour is Lori Marie McDonald. She's the author of Cursed Oddities, the stories of the world's most haunted, possessed, and supernatural objects. And if you'd like to find out more about Lori's book, or you can even buy it online, all you need to do is go to Amazon.com or Amazon.ca. This is The X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell. We'll be back with Lori on the other side of this break, and we're going to ask her about some strange things that happened to some of the paintings that are in her book. I'm Rob McConnell. Don't go away.
At Seven Gale, where our proud tower stands, there's beauty all around us, shaped by caring hands. Every flower blooming, every garden growing strong, tells a tale of neighbors and the place where we belong. Bill and his wife, Chris, give their time so faithfully. Linda brings her special touch for everyone to see. Sandy works beside them, helping gardens come alive through their loving dedication. Mill Run blooms with pride. Oh, Mill Run Tower, shining proudly in the sun, the jewel of our neighborhood, admired by everyone. From the street or from the sky, your beauty can be seen, with gardens full of color and lawns of vibrant green. To Bill, Chris, Linda, and Sandy, we proudly say thank you for the time and love you freely give. Oh.
Past midnight on Yates Street, the signal hums low. Static's alive and the shadows glow through the glass of the control room door. Something whispers, we've been here before. Old footsteps echo the real sighs. The red on air light flickers and dies through the hallway. A chill creeps deep. CKTB never sleeps. Ghosts on Yates Street. Through static and rain.
Lori McDonald is our guest, and she is the author of Cursed Oddities, True Stories of the World's Most Haunted, Possessed, and Supernatural Objects. It's available on Amazon.com. Now, what happened when you painted pictures for the books, Lori?
I had a lot of misfortune after I painted all of the images, actually. There's 12 of them that I painted. I rendered them and then turned them into the illustrations. And so right after I painted the anguished man, it's like everything under the sun happened to me.
Really?
Well, I had several things. First, I had a really bad day. The day I finished the manuscript, the book, I lost it, the whole thing.
Gosh.
So it happened to be that I worried about it the whole day. I'm like, oh my gosh, I lost my manuscript. Well, it happened to be that the program that I wrote the manuscript in, it for some reason, it went off my computer and I had to reinstall it. So I spent the whole day worried, and then finally I got the manuscript back. A family member went to the emergency room 5 times within 2 months after writing, during the time I was actually writing the book and after I rendered the images for spontaneous fainting spells. I was out gardening and I had a really strange bug bite that turned into a blister. I don't know if it was from a spider or what. The blister lasted for like over a week. I then had conjunctivitis and an eye sty. That lasted about 10 days. I had a geode painting, a very heavy one, a 24 by 36 geode that I had painted on the wall for 5 years. And after I painted the images, it fell off the wall twice. And when I looked at it, it looked like somebody yanked it off the wall because there was still wood in the screw. A family member in the family went through a marriage trouble and separated. The armoire in our bedroom, we heard knocking in the middle of the night, woke us up. And then we had a family vacation that was full of bad luck. So I did write a disclaimer in the very beginning of the book.
And what does that disclaimer say?
Well, it's just warning people that, and it explains about how while I was writing the book that I actually had a string of bad luck. And I'll go to it real quick.
Sure.
So, I'm leaving it up to the reader or the listener to basically determine, but I don't know if it was coincidence, but I've never had that much bad luck before. But what I did is I wrote that throughout the time I was researching and writing the book and painting the illustrations, I experienced intense nightmares and a series of unsettling bouts that I can only define as misfortune and setbacks. Whether the bad luck was mere coincidence or something more is for each reader or listener to conclude. I simply share my strange experience honestly. So whether you are a skeptic or a true believer, proceed with caution. Once you start reading about the world's most famous cursed oddities, you may never look at another regular object the same way again. And then I put at the end, read at your own risk.
That is strange.
Yeah.
What about the police report? What is that all about?
Yes. That was taken in Tempe. Mm-hmm. And it was a retirement home for 60 and 70-year-olds. And the police were called out because there was a worker, a habilitation attendant, who was attacked by a ghost. And they wrote the whole report up. I did put the report in the book. And the other thing is that the people that were there, the crisis team, the police, after they closed the case, they had experience in their home also, similar to what the woman who complained and wrote the report on.
But what was the report based on? Was it a haunting? Was it a...
Yes, it was a haunting. And it was, well, they interviewed the owner of the home, and he said that they kept having reports from the attendants of seeing shadows and being touched and being attacked, and doors closing, water turning on, things like that, like haunting activity. And it started just after one of the people that lived there passed away.
Wow. How do paranormal investigators deal with objects that are possessed?
Oh, yes. They isolate them. They can enclose them in, I wouldn't suggest glass, but they enclose them, and they can put them away, maybe bury them, or take them off the property. I had to, when I ran into this with a lady who came to me and told me her bed was like mysteriously in the middle of the night. She had a haunted bed that happened just after she got together with her boyfriend. And I recommended to her to just completely remove the bed altogether, have it removed and taken to the dump. And she said that the minute that she did that, she never had another problem again.
Did she keep the boyfriend?
Yes.
Was there one story, Lori, that frightened or unsettled you more than all the others?
I would say it's probably the police incident report, because it was backed up by an incident report by the police. And there were several witnesses all experiencing the same thing, and it followed them home.
Did any of the cases challenge your own beliefs about the supernatural?
Oh, well, I think we've talked before about this. As a child growing up, I stayed at my grandparents' on vacation. So, I always grew up, because I grew up around hauntings. This house that we would vacation at was a really old historic home with the wooden floors. And at night it was just really creepy. And we would hear knocking at the door and things like that. So being that I grew up around that, I guess I just fell into this field naturally. But I have had things that have challenged me. I had a case in Casa Grande once, and I actually had to call clergy because of the level that was. It was an extreme case.
Did the clergy help you?
The clergy helped them.
Oh, this wasn't something that happened to you. It was a case you were investigating.
It was a case I was
Gotcha.
investigating. Because I feel protected.
Right.
I feel, or I wouldn't go into it, but I'm very protected, and nothing has really happened to me. But that's why I guess I'm just guided to help people, because I just feel I have a sense of protection at all times.
How do you separate genuine accounts from folklore, exaggeration, coincidence, or even deliberate hoaxes?
You have to check in and find out where it came from. You have to find out, detective work. You have to find out if other people are witnesses to it. And there is a lot of folklore and things like that that's handed down from generation to generation. But when there's a lot of reports and then you check the history, and there's history to back up, like, say, death scenes, or the same location of, like, let's say, a haunted chair that many people have used and had a lot of bad luck over and over and over. That is more along the lines of being factual. And but there's other things that are folklore. I didn't write too much about the folklore. I tried to stick with more pertinent things.
The possessed objects, yeah.
Yeah.
Were you able to trace the ownership histories of these objects that you write about, and did misfortune seem to follow them from person to person?
Yeah, I have a whole chapter where I explain the history And also each chapter that I go through, I will talk about the history of each object. So it's clearly pointed out in the book. Hopefully, if you're interested, you'll read up on it. But I do have a chapter in there about how to determine if an object is haunted. I talk about cursed and possessed jewelry. And in there's a lot of information about like the tiger's eye and generations of stone being passed through English royals where they all had bad luck. The cursed and possessed paintings, same thing. Then I have cursed death scenes in horror movie sets.
Wow.
The Dybbuk Box. I have the other thing that set my bad luck off is when I illustrated a cursed book, medieval, a manuscript.
All right, you and I have to take our break, and when we come back, more of this exciting story with our guest, Lori Marie McDonald. This is the X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here in St. Catharines of the CanCom Broadcast Network, and on your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ AM, streaming us at classic1220.ca. The name of Lori's book, X Zone Nation, is, do you have your pencil and papers ready? Cursed Oddities, and it's available at Amazon.com. Whatever you do, don't go away. We'll be right back.
The real size. Red on air, light flickers and dies through the hallway. A chill creeps deep. CKTB never sleeps. Ghosts on Yates Street, calling my name. Riding the airwaves, lost in the flame. From the grave to the mic, they rise again, telling the stories through static and rain. Phantoms whisper where the signal bleeds. Ghosts on Yates Street, haunting me. In the booth where the silence screams, I see a shadow where no one's been. Long before the maps were drawn, before the roads were made, stories crossed the rivers where the ancient pines still sway. The elders spoke of spirits in the mountains and the sky, teaching every generation how to live, not asking why. Listen to the drum beat, hear the eagle cry. Some mysteries are forever meant to live beneath the sky. Spirits of the first people, guardians of the land, walking through the forest with an unseen guiding hand. In every sacred valley, every river, every plain, the old stories still remember, and they softly call your name. Spirits of the first people, their wisdom still remains.
X Zone Nation, our guest this hour is Lori Marie McDonald, and her website is, well, she didn't give us one because everything is so busy over there, but if you go to Amazon.com or Amazon.ca, you'll be able to find one of her many books that she's written. Lori, you were telling us that you painted 12 pictures. Can you tell us what those 12 pictures are?
Yes. I painted a planchette from a Ouija board.
Okay.
Robert the Doll. The Anguished Man.
Okay.
The Rain Woman.
Rain Woman?
The Rain Woman.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a haunted and cursed painting by Svetlana Tetlitz. I don't know. I'm sorry about that pronunciation. Sure. Saturn Devouring His Son by Francisco Goya. I painted the Cursed Clock Tower of Mexico. And I also painted a cursed cauldron that is only a rendition of the Ed Gaines cauldron that was used in his, death scenes. Do you know about Ed Gaines? Anyway.
No, I don't. Can you share that story with us?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He had a thing for like a unusual relationship with his mother, and he was a psychopath, and he would grave rob, and then he would also murder people.
Really?
He wound up on death row. And at one point, now this is pretty intense, but he used the cauldron to drain a body like how you'd hang up a deer. Yeah, and he would use the cauldron for that. And so it's right now, I just painted a rendition of it because I think that it was bid on by Zach of Ghost Adventures, and he owns it, and he put it in his museum. So I just did a rendition of what I thought it looked like. It looks pretty much the same, but then I've also painted a Dybbuk box.
What's a Dybbuk box?
That's a wine cabinet that houses a Dybbuk spirit, and it was a big deal because there were several people that initially it was very haunted. Okay. There was a man that purchased it, and he had all this bad luck. He sold it on the internet, like eBay or something, and that person had extremely bad luck. And so finally, I think they finally had to box it up and bury it. The thing I was going to tell you about is the Devil's Bible. That I illustrated, and I had weird things happen after I did that. But the weirdest thing of all was the crouching devil inside the Devil's Bible. Mm-hmm. And it's a giant book, and it's famous for being an immense size. It's like a Latin Bible, and it's 13th century.
We're back with you. And by the way, Exo Nation, the name of Lori's book is Cursed Oddities, True Stories of the World's Most Haunted, Possessed, and Supernatural Objects. Okay, so I'm sorry I lost track of how many paintings are we up to now?
We're on 10.
Okay,
the
please.
Crouching Devil.
The Crouching Devil.
Yeah, that is in that 13th century book that I was telling, the Devil's Bible. Mm-hmm. And it also has magic spells and an illustration of the devil. But they call it the Crouching Devil. So I illustrated that. I rendered it. It's basically, yeah. Then I illustrated the Cursed Vigango statue and the Devil's coins.
A lot of devils in those paintings.
Well, hey, this is about cursed oddities.
Is it only the devil that curses objects, or can other, for example, witches or psychics or gypsies, can they also curse objects?
Yeah, definitely. Usually, people in different philosophies, they can do an incantation. I don't know about whatever religion they're in or anything, mm-hmm. but they can use an incantation and an intent, and they call upon, I guess, spirits, and they attach the spirits to the object in order to do their bidding of whatever they might want. There could be love spells, and there could be serious consequences. And even though some of the people don't really believe in the curses,
right,
the curses actually happen. The only way to get rid of a curse is to actually remove the object that was placed in the home, like that bed that I told you mm-hmm. about.
Now, do these curses, do they remain to the object that originally was cursed when it came into the house, or does the curse spread amongst other objects in the house?
No, it just remains with that object only.
So can an object affect people psychologically, even if no genuine supernatural force is involved?
Yeah, definitely. If they believe it too.
Ah, the power of belief.
Yes.
So how powerful are suggestion and expectation when someone has been told that an object is cursed?
Well, it just depends on that person, because if they bring it home and they don't believe it and then the activity happens anyway, they start believing real soon.
Okay, so you've got all these 12 paintings in your book. You're talking about curses.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that there's a curse attached to each one of these books, and that the owner of the book, when they buy it at Amazon, may
No.
buy a cursed book?
No, I hope not. I think what happened is that because I painted it,
Mm-hmm.
I connected with something. But we did a cleansing and everything's fine now.
Oh, okay.
So, but what they can do is, if there's anybody that reads the book and they find that they have something happen, they can find my book, Help for the Haunted, and that'll help clear it.
Way to go, kid. Cross-marketing. Are religious artifacts and sacred relics more likely to attract paranormal stories because of their spiritual significance?
Yes. I mean, definitely.
As a paranormal investigator for many years, what role do seances, occult rituals, spiritual boards, or attempts at communication play in the histories of cursed objects?
Yeah, a big part in that. Basically, when someone has the intention to use a board, and the intention is, I want to speak to a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And that opens that door up to where you never know what's going to come through that door. And in the book, I do have several stories and information pertaining to people that used a Ouija board and the bad things that happened. But like I said, sometimes it might even just be the planchette, and focusing on that could be haunted. So I've investigated a lot of the things I investigated,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the cases, I would say 6 times out of 10 started with the people using a Ouija board.
Have you yourself ever tried to use a Ouija board?
Yes.
And what did you find out? Did you?
It didn't do anything for me.
Eh?
No, it didn't. Nothing happened when I used it.
So why do you think Ouija boards have gotten such a bad rap?
Because of the history of everything that happens to people when they use it. It's all over. There's so many examples and so many cases of people using a Ouija board and having misfortune happen, spirits come through, because it could be an evil spirit pretending, let's say, to be a child, and it's really an evil spirit. So.
Gotcha. Is it possible that a lot of the stories about Ouija boards have been, made up because the people who were using them actually wanted something to happen, and that what really happened had nothing to do with negativity or the Ouija board? It was just their imaginations?
Well, you never know.
Yeah, true, eh?
What I put in my book was information about what really happened to people. And that's a good point, because you never know where their psychology is, if they're on medication, if it's genuine. But I will say that there are people that I've investigated on medication who have mental illness, and they attracted the spirits.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Lori, stand by. We've got to take our final break. In X Zone Nation, our guest this hour is Lori Marie McDonald. She's the author of Cursed Oddities, True Stories of the World's Most Haunted, Possessed, and Supernatural Objects. And this great book is available on Amazon.com. Lori and I return as we wrap up this hour here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, on the CanCom Broadcast Network and your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ AM, streaming us at classic1220.ca.
Spirits of the first people, guardians of the land, walking
journeyed every mile. Some speak of the Wendigo, where frozen forests sleep, a warning born of hardship that the elders always keep. Others tell of little people watching quietly from stone, reminding us that nature is a kingdom not our own. A warning born of hardship that the elders always keep. Others tell of little people watching quietly.
Before the roads and the cities were born, before the map of a nation was drawn, the drums of the people echoed through the land, guided by the wisdom of the healer's hand. Under northern lights and the eagle's flight, they listen to the spirits in the silent night. The shaman walks softly where the ancestors tread, bringing hope to the living, honoring the dead. They were keepers of the sacred fire, guardians of dreams and hearts inspired. From the forests and mountains to the oceans wide, they carried ancient wisdom as their guide. And the fire still...
And welcome back, everyone. By the way, all the music that you hear on the X Zone is exclusive to the X Zone, and it's done by a great group of studio musicians called RAM. And if you'd like to find out more about RAM, if you'd like to find out the great music we have here on the X Zone, if you'd like to buy any of the tracks that RAM have done for us over the past year, and there's 198 of them, all you need to do is go to www.rammusic.ca. That's www.rammusic.ca. Lori McDonald is with us, and she is the author of a book that is, well, if you're going to scare the hell out of somebody on Halloween Eve, this would be the book, especially if they collect antiques. The name of the book is Cursed Oddities, True Stories of the World's Most Haunted, Possessed, and Supernatural Objects. It's available on Amazon.com and Amazon.ca. And now Lori is being joined by her husband, Bill. And Bill, always great having you with us.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be with you, Rob.
Okay, during the break, we were talking, and the name Ed Gaines came up.
Well, you have to understand that I'm in corrections. So when you talk about Jeffrey Dahmer, when you talk about the fictional character of Hannibal Lecter, well, where did the concept for somebody that crazy come from? Somebody that psychotic that they would actually eat properly prepared, cooked human meat and human sweetbreads? Well, the answer was a guy who wasn't that great of a cook by the name of Ed Gaines, who lived up in
Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was Plainfield. He was known as the Butcher of Plainfield. Now, he had a 25-gallon rusted heavy cast iron cauldron. Now, the book covers all of the stuff that's basic to the story, but the story was that he knew how to hang people upside down and drain their carcasses, just like us deer hunters do when we go hunting during, deer season with our proper tags. And he would literally hoist a person up by their ankles, and he would drain them into the cauldron. He would then light a fire under the cauldron after sliding the carcass back somewhat away from the heat, because it would eventually be frozen. Now, what he would do was he would cut slices of muscle tissue out, and he'd throw it into the cauldron of the blood. And then he had human stew that was very similar to that morning porridge breakfast that the Brits and Scots love so much, which is that pig's blood morning porridge that you enjoy very much when you're over in the United Kingdom. And they found, the cops found garbage waste paper baskets literally made of human skin.
Oh.
They found whole human detached skeletal bones collected and piled up like a mini one of those underground cities that's made entirely of bone. And human skulls were secured to the corner notches of 4 bedposts, plus they were used as bookends for bookshelves. The chair covers were wrapped in human skin.
Oh, God.
And he also had human skulls with flip tops.
Oh.
Literally for like drinks, beer. Display bowls made from skulls, undergarments designed to mold with the torso made of a female skin, form-fitting stockings made from leg skin. This is starting to sound like Buffalo Bill, which is another fictional character. Yeah. Female human heads taxidermied into costume masks. That's 100% true. Several decapitated heads in grocery bags, which was for Halloween. A human heart in a sack in front of the kitchen oven, a collection of 9 external female genitalia in specimen boxes. Now, that is disturbing even to me. A belt made from a human areola and nipple, probably a woman since theirs are bigger. A collection of 4 human noses, probably Romanesque or Arab, because the larger the nose, the better it presents. A set of lips on a drawstring. I'm not sure how you would entertain people with that. A human face taxidermied into a lampshade. Well, they got that obviously from Nazi Germany, which is true. This guy was alive during the Second World War. And all of this stuff is on display in private collections, and also you have to be somebody who knows somebody to get into the official museums for those kind of forensic evidence displays.
Actually, those were put in a specimen thing. The only thing that's on display is the Ed Games cauldron that Zach Bagans has in his haunted museum.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said.
And he paid $2,800 for it in an auction.
But when you're in corrections, first you hear about this stuff from inmates or other officers.
What kind of person would even want to buy or have these kind of macabre memorabilia in their homes, for God's sake?
Well,
Marilyn Manson would be one.
There's a lot of people that like oddities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
oddities are cool.
Underground oddities. It's a subculture.
But isn't there a difference between an oddity and something that is so horrific that it goes beyond description even?
Yeah, well, that I think the only place that wound up was at that museum, because, you know, he's a paranormal investigator and he's come across a lot of things like that. And there's a lot of people that go see that museum, and there's things that have happened to people that come in contact with things in that museum.
And historically, oddities have been collected by medieval people, the Romans, the Greeks,
curiosity cabinet,
the Persians, people going back in time. 6,000 years they were collecting oddities.
Wow.
And during the Old Stone Age and further back, who knows how much human parts were being collected by other clans that had, you know, beat them in war or had captured them to eat them.
Geez, I just realized that I've got an oddity in my office, Bill. It's an empty bottle of Jack Daniels.
Okay, well, first of all, unless that Jack Daniels is at least 94 proof, like Gentleman Jack, I don't drink number 80. That stuff is carburetor cleaner.
Well, I know, but the reason why it's an oddity now is because ever since these tariffs have started way back when, all American booze has been taken off the shelves here, and you can't even go into a bar and get a Jack Daniels.
Well, you can get some really good stuff simply by ordering it from the United Kingdom or Scotland directly.
Not anymore. Not anymore. As soon as it hits customs, if it's JD or any other alcohol that is manufactured in the United States, it's not allowed in.
I'm talking about Royal Lochnagar and Scapa and Highland Park. Some of that's more delicious than anything we ever made.
All right, send me an email with the names.
I will.
Hey, listen. Yeah. You know, I've had the pleasure of having you and Lori on the show a number of times over the 36 years doing the show, and I have to ask you this, Bill. How would you classify Lori's new book?
I think that it's the most well-written of the three.
Yeah.
I think that all three together are one hell of a well-written collection. And I think that the way Lori writes books, if you remember the old Funk and Wagnall paranormal encyclopedias from when we were kids.
Yep.
Well, you can't really own one without owning all, because she is covering the entire spectrum. And she's also been cracking the whip on me. I got all the Roswell stuff. I'm supposed to do a book that will fit into that collection just on the Roswell investigation that I did, by getting the witnesses to describe, focusing on the vehicle, its functions, the flight crew, and their anatomy. So she's making me do one too, but she's got plans for all kinds of other ones.
Hey, Lori, what's it like taking a whip to your husband?
I love it.
You animal, you.
No, she really does it. If I don't rub her feet just right.
Ah, there you go.
Bill.
Yeah, you know, like with my wife and I, she says jump, and I say, how high, honey, and when can I come down?
Yeah, she wears the pants in the family, and while I hate being retired with her wearing pants, it really is.
Yeah, I love to hear yes, dear.
Isn't that the truth? You know, my wife says to me, Robbie, when are you going to retire? And I say, honey, when are you going to stop spending money? And then she says, you're going to be working a long time, aren't you? I said, yeah.
Retirement equals death in the McDonald family. If you slow down at all, Rob, you're a dead man walking.
Well, then do the world a favor, Bill. Don't slow down, because the work that you've done over the years, and I know that you've got more great work that's going to be coming down the pipe, and you're going to be coming on the show for 2 hours in the near future. And Lori, I hate to say this, my dear, but we're running out of time really fast. Congratulations on your new book.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to reading it. Apparently, you said it's been delivered here, so I'm going to get Craig to look around the office after we finish this show, and
check for shrinkage.
And just continued success to the both of you, and thank you both for doing what you do.
Thank you so much.
Blessings to you too, Bill. Take care of yourself, my friend. Lori, thanks very much for everything you do, and continued success.
Thank you. You have a nice evening, and we are so thankful for having us on the show.
It's my great pleasure. Take care of yourselves. And Exo Nation, once again, if you'd like to find out more about our guests, Lori and Bill McDonald, they've been on our show a number of times. All you need to do is go to the Exo Broadcast Network and type in their name. All the past archives are there. But the name of Lori's new book is Cursed Oddities, stories of the world's most haunted, possessed, and supernatural objects. It's available on Amazon. We'll be back on the other side of this break as hour number 2 of the X Zone starts right now.
Before the roads and the cities were born, before the map of a nation was drawn, the drums of the people echoed through the land, guided by the wisdom of the healer's hand.